broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, AfterBuzzers. We're here during another AfterBuzz TV after show for MTV's Teen Wolf Season 5, Episode 8, Ouroboros. I am your host, Kristen Snyder. Joining me from MTV's Are You the One in the Challenge, Brittany Baldassari.
Hey guys, what's up? Make sure you guys use AVTV Teen Wolf.
Woo, woo! And from Are You the One on MTV, Ryan Malaty.
Yes, coming to a Wheaties box near you. I'm Ryan Malaty. You guys can keep up with me at Ryan Malaty. And if you are watching live on youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV, go ahead and throw us some comments, because we have some special guests here, and I'm sure they'd love to hear what you have to say. So do we.
We have two very special guests for you guys today. He was with us a few weeks ago. He plays Sheriff Stilinski. Please welcome Linden Asheby.
Hey, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
And we also have Natalie Martin with us, played by Susan Walters. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited you could be here.
You guys look great.
I'm a big fan of yours from the Vampire Diaries also, and I know you've been on CSI and One Tree Hill and Young and Restless. I know everyone probably recognizes you from all those shows.
It's fun. It's fun that I've gotten recognized from Teen Wolf a few times, which is really fun. Yeah.
No, so I need to ask you, do you know what's going on in this town? Because I feel like from Lydia's backstory, it's like I feel like you know, right? And maybe you're just playing like you don't for Lydia's sake.
I think that more will be revealed about what I know as the season goes on. So it's fun for me as an actress. Like last year, I would only want to read my part of the script because it's hard. It's hard to be on something and know that all this other stuff is happening, but then you're not allowed to know it. Mm-hmm. So I didn't want to have that influence me at all. So this year, it's kind of fun that it's kind of ebbing and flowing a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, I can't wait to see what that backstory is. Yeah. And can you comment at all on when Lydia had that sort of trippy experience and she found you and like her grandmother in the tub? Like, was there truth to that? Because she said she was having someone else's like memory, and I just know all the fans just want to know. I'm sure they're talking about it on the chat.
Right, because it's hard. I mean, can you imagine actually, like, sitting next to your mother-in-law who's bleeding out of her head? That would be horrible.
It's horrible.
Yeah, but I think it's probably how Lydia might have remembered things. But I have a feeling going and visiting her in that state, in that place, really happened. And then Natalie also probably really scolded young Lydia for coming in a room that she shouldn't have come in. Mm-hmm. I don't know about the particulars.
Yeah, I just remember from last season when we went to the lake house, the Martins Lake House. Yeah. I don't know if Sheriff Stilinski got to investigate that at all.
No.
But I have a feeling if you do get to go back, you'll be finding some freaky clues there. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like we ever got to know why, like it was soundproof and all of that.
Right.
And I just don't think that you're in the dark. And I want to... Yeah. I want to see what you know, and I can't wait.
I love that my character is a little more part of the story at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I even feel like you could be a banshee. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that...
I can certainly scream. I'm the loudest person I know.
I could see banshee.
I give Holland a run for her money, actually, with the screaming.
Look, we used to... was it Grace who ran cross country?
Uh-huh.
She would yell so loud at football games, like that kind of thing, that people would
My nephew would hear me on the field and just cringe. And he's well, Aunt Susan was in the stands. He would be playing football and could tell that I was screaming his name.
So
but people at cross-country meets...
They'd be like, hey, can you yell for my kid, too?
Can you yell for my daughter? And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, what's her name? Okay. And then I would yell, and then the kid would come running by like, who are you? But I'd be screaming her name.
That's amazing. Does Jeff Davis have this information?
He does now.
He says he watches our show, so...
There you go.
We'll see if he does. If you become a banshee suddenly, then hopefully he has watched it. So let's get into the episode. I want to know what is going on with Sheriff Stilinski. It seems like suddenly he's playing for the other side, and he's not working with the group. You're not communicating with the wolf pack, and even your son's lying to you. It's like, I feel like you're really... And you get the slap by Melissa.
It was funny, while watching the episode, in the corner there was a hashtag slapped by Melissa.
I know.
It was like up there.
I tweeted to her. What did I tweet to Melissa? Something like, I've always wanted to do that. Yeah. That's
Like
what I
fantasy.
Oh boy. So yeah, I guess that is a good question, because your character, Linden, really shined in this episode because of I feel like the inner conflict that you've been dealing with is kind of coming to a T. So what is that like?
It's just you reach a point where you can't bend the rules anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I really thought it was very poignant dialogue. You know, when I was talking to her and saying, "This is somebody's kid. What, are we just gonna ignore this? You think it's just gonna go away?"
Yeah. No,
you know, she is someone's child, and you can't just wish this away. And there are procedures that need to be followed, and you know, I can't bend the rules anymore.
It was almost like she was trying to get you to cover up the death in a way. Like, what are you going to do with the body?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you going to do with the evidence? Like, just toss it away?
Yeah, but I feel like you've been doing it for so long. Like, what do you think the trigger?
That I can't.
What was that trigger that was like, I'm not doing this anymore?
Probably the dead body with the sword.
The girl today
in the kitchen.
Right in the kitchen.
On the table.
On the kitchen table.
On the dinner table.
Well, also, though, you know what else? Also, I mean, you've been going along with it, but also he has a sense of, I mean, that's what I love about how Linden plays it. It's always like, what, right? But then, you know, dread doctors, like, do we have to call them that, or, you know, whatever. And then there is a dead body on a kitchen table, and I think having another adult there with you made it that much more real.
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden it's like, wait, this isn't kid stuff and whatever. This is like a dead child, and here's another adult, and we're both witness to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can't wish it away, and you can't make it go away, and you can't.
And it could be your kid.
And it could be anybody's kid. It could be my kid. It could be, you know. But the fact is, that is somebody's child, and they need to know what happened. There needs to be an accountability here, and there also needs to be. They need to know what happened to their child, not maybe how it happened and the grisly details, but they need to know.
You can't just
that
cover up with
their child is dead.
Yeah, I know you
painful as that
hated
is.
Melissa's honest statement of what happened, because what are you going to do with that? Like, you can't... Do you guys think that the town is going to find out? I mean, I know in Vampire Diaries, the town does find out, and then they put, you know, like the ring around the town so no supernatural creatures can come in. But it was okay because they had all gone off to college. So I don't know.
And all the parents were dead.
Bad memories.
In a fountain.
Yeah, so it's like, not to compare the two shows, but I mean, the kids are going off to college, I think, maybe not in 5B, but in season 6, I believe. So it's like, is the town ready to find out? Is that something that could happen?
Let me get Jeff on this.
But I think
Jeff,
part
could
of
this
what-
happen?
Part of what, and you know, anything can happen.
Maybe. Don't
'Cause
tell him anything.
I didn't realize that happened on Vampire Diaries, actually, but that makes sense because after a while, enough people are privy to the information.
Yeah.
But what it brings it back to also the reality of, like, this is a child. We can't just keep not pretending. We can't just keep having supernatural be okay.
Right.
It's also it's nice that it is supernatural, so it's not the norm for the town.
Right.
Yeah. We actually have a caller on the line. Caller, what's your name? Where are you from? Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you from?
This is Robert from Tennessee.
Hi, Robert from
Hello,
Tennessee. Do you have a question for our special guest?
I certainly do.
Go ahead.
The question is, of all the characters that have died and that have left on their own, what characters do they miss working with the most?
Aww.
I'll have to hand that to you because I haven't worked with a whole lot.
Boy, you caught me off guard.
I love that scene with you and Allison in the elevator last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was because it made it. You know, those kind of scenes remind you that they're teenagers and going through these huge ordeals.
Mm-hmm.
I miss Hoechlin. I miss Crystal.
Oh, yeah.
I miss Colton. I miss those guys. I miss Daniel.
Oh.
It's if I had to pick one, I couldn't do it.
It's fine. You put them all in one nice little basket.
Yep. That's an attractive basket.
It's a nice basket.
It's a very nice basket.
Very attractive basket.
Oh my. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Robert from Tennessee. We really appreciate your support and watching the show. And for you guys
Thank you very
home,
much.
thank
Thanks,
you.
Robert.
You guys at home, you can go ahead and call us at 424-256-1729 if you'd like to give us a call and ask a question. And we actually have another caller on the line right now. Caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
What's your favorite scary movie?
Maybe now they'll respond. No. Okay, so I think that we
scared them off.
scared them off. Thanks, Ryan.
Hey, it's Teen Wolf. It's a scary show.
Ryan, let's check in with the chat. What are they saying? Are they excited about the episode? I know a lot goes on in this episode. It was very emotional.
It was.
Were they sad about the episode? What are they saying?
Well, everyone, first of all, really loves you guys. And they ship you.
They ship
you guys.
Do you know how long it took me to know what that meant? Like, they used to do it on Vampire Diaries, and I'm always like, I had no idea until it was like just a couple weeks ago that we finally figured it out.
No. I figured out at a convention
you were ahead
like
of me then.
2 years ago, but I had no
good
idea
for
because
you.
I was like, shipping.
I knew what shipping was.
Putting us in a ship?
Right.
Sending us somewhere?
I knew what it was, but I never got that it was part of relationship.
That's funny.
Right there
I'm
with
admitting
you.
it.
No, I was right there with you for a while. I just
So what is
pretended.
that ship called? Natalie and Linden? Lindley or Naden?
No, they ship
Lindley sounds pretty.
Stilinski and Melissa. There was a lot of heat the night we had that.
Stilinski. Apparently, yeah. We were asking him, where he was going to go on the date.
Yeah.
And we were suggesting dancing and many different things, but he just said probably dinner.
Yeah.
It's just too bad all that lighthearted stuff is it's not around anymore. We're not worrying about passing AP bio or going on dates. It's getting heavy now.
Well, our caller got brave and they called back.
Cool.
Caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
What's up, guys? How are you doing?
I believe this is Josh from Florida. He's our resident caller here at AFTERBUZZ TV.
Remember Josh?
Yes.
Southern guys calling in.
Josh, what's
I
your
hope
question?
everyone's doing great today. It's awesome to see Susan and Linden both together
Yeah.
in the studio.
Susan.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Yes.
Josh, what's your question?
My question would be for you guys, how do you guys finally feel about your respective, Stiles and Lydia finally, getting together, if it does happen, which, we're all hoping for. And, I know that would be sad for, your two characters getting together, but, I think it'd be for the greater good. But I just want to know your opinion on it.
About Stiles and Lydia?
And your relationship.
Look, as a parent, it's like with my own kids. I want them to be happy. Whoever they're happy with, I'm fine with that.
Aww.
And as far as this one, she's easy on the eyes, but
People are always so surprised, you guys have worked together? Is that weird? No, it's great. It's easy when I work with him. A couple times it's been weird, with the characters that we're playing compared to, Linden's one of my favorite people in the whole world to help me as an actress. So then I'll be working with him, against him. It's just, that gets kind of crazy. But those scenes were really fun that we did, our little scene. Yeah.
I hope we get to see a date with you guys. Just after being with you guys in studio, I just feel the love. And yes, I missed that on Teen Wolf, like Ryan was saying.
I know. I don't
We're like, Jeff, write it in.
you know, person,
His eyes were
real-
twinkling in the scene with
real
Melissa.
life
though.
and TV life are maybe
I caught
different
that.
things.
I caught
Twinkling
that.
after the slap or
no,
before the
it
slap?
was before the slap. When she was like, "You better leave your badge at the door," and he's still trying to be kind of cute about it, like, "Hey, yeah, whatever." And then she's like, "I'm
Leave my
serious here."
badge. Taking it off. Here's my jacket too.
Hey, stop looking so cute.
Well, thank you so much for calling in, Josh from Florida. We really appreciate you supporting us and asking us questions. You guys at home, you can download and rate and comment. We're on iTunes, we're on SoundCloud, we're on YouTube with the video if you like to watch the video. We really appreciate it. And we have a live read for you guys today.
We do. I'm just pulling it up right now. We all know who we'd like to thank for getting us to and fro. Is that a word?
AFTERBUZZ TV Studios.
And Mazda.
Mazda.
I'd also like to give a quick shout out to my wolf pack back at home watching the show right now. My friends my whole life, and I feel like a lone wolf right now, but thanks for watching, guys. Love you.
Oh,
By the way,
that's sweet.
they're playing poker, and I told them to deal me in, so I'm probably winning. I'm sort of expecting those chips soon. But I'd like to read a little something because the show is free, and this is how it stays free for fans to watch. A little message from Mazda. Does driving matter to you? Driving with the windows down, the wind blowing through your hair, the smell of pine trees and fresh asphalt.
Are you there? Are you there yet?
You look forward to these moments when it's just you and the road, no distractions, handling every curve, and feeling every nuance in the road. So ask yourself, does driving matter to you? Because if it does, we build cars just for you. Because to us, driving matters. Mazda. Thank you, guys.
That was really good.
Well done.
I was in that.
That was like watching Don Draper.
That's right. It was. It was like you were doing the thing. Like, I'm thinking it should be like this.
That's how, and that's yes. And I'll take Mazda's endorsement.
There you go.
Yeah, you'll be
That's
driving
right.
another Mazda in no
That's
time.
right.
Well, guys, feel free to call in right to Ryan in the live chat. We're gonna go through the episode, and then we're gonna go through an interview with Susan and ask Linden a few more questions as well.
Okay.
And we have another
Yep.
caller. Let's see what they have to say about tonight's episode. Caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
My name's Anae. I'm from Kansas.
Hi, Anae from
Hi, Anae.
Kansas. Did you have a question for Susan and Linden?
Well, this one's a very interesting question. It's I have several questions. One is for Linden. It's like more of like a behind the scenes. When they did the scene with the slap with Melissa, here's my question: is how many times did it take for that slap to be done, and how many times did she actually hit him?
I think a few. And you know, she was reluctant to do it because she's a really nice person and she's a good friend. But
She's a good friend.
but I'm like,
Don't hit me, Melissa.
I'm like, come on, just do it.
You gotta have a
You
loose
don't-
hand.
Yeah, I'm like, just I go. If
No, really.
if
That's
don't-
how you do it?
If you
Yeah.
don't hit me in the ear,
Yeah.
we're all good. Ear or eye. Other than that, just I've taken pretty good shots before. So then she just wailed me, and I'm like,
What's the safe
It
word?
had a good smack to
Yeah.
it, didn't it?
It did.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. But yeah, she tried to be nice, but in being nice, you're actually being mean because you have to do it
Any more time.
True.
You just wind up and whop them.
Aww.
It was believable.
It doesn't hurt all that much.
Anna, did you have another question?
Brittany's been practicing that scene on me for a while.
My other question was if you guys have yet at all kind of figured out what parish might possibly be, because a lot of people are still saying it can be a phoenix, and I've actually been looking online at like mythical fire creatures, and one of them that surprisingly that popped up was a chimera. The chimera actually popped up as a fire creature, and then I also saw three other possibilities. One I think's already been mentioned is a dragon, and I found two other possibilities, which is something called a djinn and a firebird. But the firebird is actually different from a phoenix.
Firebird is an awesome car from Pontiac.
I said Mazda! Stop! We're Mazda!
Mazda all the way.
That's right!
And they don't make them anymore.
I had
You
one.
are gay. Hey,
wasn't
you know what?
awesome.
If you go through that list, I'll tell you warm or cold.
You can't do that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, like I said, some of the other ones were kind of weird because there was one that said a fire salamander, so I was like, no, that's out of the
A
question.
fire salamander? That's warm.
Yeah, there was actually one that said a mythical creature was a fire salamander.
Warm.
Sounds pretty warm.
Ryan is a fire salamander.
Can you imagine having to put on those prosthetics, right?
Oh,
Anna, I really like the idea that he could be a chimera because we've studied that this entire season. A lot of people, yes, are going with the phoenix because that's the more obvious. But we see today Zach has wings, and it looks like the phoenix will have wings, and maybe, Parrish is a successful experiment. We don't know. It could happen. Anything is possible in Teen Wolf.
I know, because I was very surprised when that popped up. In the chimera was a fire mythical creature, and then Parrish is always covered up in flames and naked, apparently.
Well, as Lydia's mother, I was very surprised that my high school daughter is hanging out with the deputy.
She has got to be 18. Isn't she 18?
Yes,
Yeah,
she is.
18. So it's
That's
it's
my concern
I was
about this
concerned
Parrish
that my
person.
deputy was hanging out with
I'm like, wait a minute.
a minor, not the kind that digs underground.
Oh, well,
Anna,
dig some
thank you
holes.
so much.
But okay, ready? I'll go through your list because I think I remember pretty
Thank you.
well. Wait, hold on. It was you were cold, warm, cold, warm.
Boom.
Those are the
So
answers.
we're close. We're
Well,
somewhere
yeah, the
around
fire
there.
salamander. You are.
I would do
I
that
got
for
on the
Halloween.
I want to be a fire
So someone
salamander.
definitely
Fire
told Zach that.
salamander.
I don't
Teen
know.
Wolf on fire.
Thanks
Teen Wolf
much,
on fire,
Anna, for
feeling hot,
calling
hot,
in.
hot.
We really
Fierce
appreciate
to the fire
it.
salamander.
No problem.
It's
Bye-bye.
You
well,
guys next
it's an
time.
amphibian, so
It
it
could
can
be a
go on land
large
and the water,
salamander.
and it's fire.
It's got to live in the water, so it doesn't.
Let's
because it
talk
comes out-
doesn't get too
about
hot.
Ouroboros,
Ouroboros.
Ouroboros.
the
Yeah.
snake that eats itself. Now, to me, we learn this with, Deaton, and he's with the desert wolf, and I feel like because she's talking about killing her daughter, that's sort of like a snake who eats its own tail, right?
Well, yes, but
Or
I
lions
believe
eat their
like
young also, don't they?
the medical staff, you see the symbol is a snake. Is it eating itself, or are they intertwined?
I think they're gazing into each other, into each other's eyes.
I'm not sure. Or
Or some,
is it
the symbol for
it's wrapped in
medical
medical.
services.
an Alfa Romeo? I had an Alfa Romeo, and it might have been
A fire salamander.
it might have been a fire salamander eating itself.
There you go.
Unlike a fire bird.
And then once again, another car. Sorry, Mazda.
Oh my God. He's just trying to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Guys-
Piston engines. I'll show you how old I am. It's like that. It used to be the ad was
We-
piston engines go boing boing boing. Mazda engine goes.
You're so old, I don't even know that commercial.
Because they were rotary engines.
Wait, I'm curious what we're talking about.
We should all- we need to all get a bonus. No, the Ouroboros. It's an ancient symbol. It's been around for a long time, and it means cycles, change, and I believe that, I don't know, I see Phoenix with that. Burning from the ashes, rising from the ashes, rebirth, cycles. I mean, the Ouroboros is a symbol that is used in all kinds of different ways, but it was said to be on the faces of the faceless men under those masks, who are these, I would assume, the dread doctors,
Yeah,
right.
And so
I
this
thought they were
symbol.
talking about the lights in like the summer up above, the North Pole.
Well, that's why nothing's getting solved this
Borealis.
season.
Wait, is that not it?
Wait, what?
What?
Wait, hang on.
Dude, what are you talking about? There's no lights there. Oh my God.
How is he seeing out of that eye?
Where are we? Where am I?
And then they drilled through one of Kira's eyes.
Yeah.
That was
creepy.
hideous.
Ask you guys.
You know what?
Just-
I had to look away.
Are the doctors doing that? Because they did the same thing to Liam. Are they doing that because they want, to inject their experiments with the wolves and the kitsune, DNA? Is that why they're taking that? Because it looked like a big needle, and they were extracting something from the supernatural
memory.
creatures.
I wonder
Well,
if
they
that's something
stuck
to do
it
with their
in and
memory.
he got struck by lightning, and then she was like, flame on. From that point,
Well,
right?
that's her kitsune protecting her. That's her aura that's protecting her.
Why did they
that's within
protect
her. But I feel like the doctors are taking something from them.
Well,
They're
took the wings
making
from
those
Zach.
extractions, and
They
I don't
took
know.
the eye from Dr. Valak.
Yeah, so it's
They're
like,
taking things back.
what is this thing gonna look like? It's gonna be part kitsune. It's gonna be part werewolf. It's
I
gonna
know
have
what
the
they're
eye.
going for, what they're trying to make, but I cannot.
He can't tell
See, what's so
us.
funny is
I
that
don't even know what Parrish is.
yeah,
I cannot tell.
and he doesn't tell me, for the record, he doesn't tell me any of this stuff. So sometimes like I'll just read my part because I don't want to know because I watch the show as a fan also, and I'm like, wait a minute, are you kidding? He's like, just watch, just pay attention.
What's happening?
Yeah. What's going on? Why did she do that? You know, so I have to, and then I have like vague recollections. Wait, I think I read that in a script, and then I'm watching it happening, right? Because the supernatural stuff, you really need to keep track of
Yeah.
it. Where I go back and forth, but I love watching the show as a fan.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I try not to know too much what's in the script since it doesn't concern my character.
It definitely
fun.
seems though like they are building
Something.
one
Yeah.
big Frankenstein monster.
Yeah, it's very frightening.
Yeah, it's very frightening. And what was like the guy that was in the tube next to Hayden and Liam?
Yeah.
It was like maybe they were
With
trying.
the little wingy thing.
Yeah, it was like were they trying? Oh, not Zach, but the guy that was still in the tube. Like were they trying to create another doctor? Like it seems like they're keeping that thing alive, whatever it
Oh
is.
yeah.
There's a reason.
There's a reason. Come on, Sheriff.
There's a reason.
Help us put the clues together.
Well, you're getting warm. Everything you're saying makes sense.
Fire
Okay.
the
They're
salamander.
fire salamander. They're not here just to visit.
Can you imagine like going through all of that stuff and then you end up with just like a little salamander?
Like
just
that big. That's what they're making.
like
And
this
it's
big.
so. What is Zach?
Like a
It seems
fishing
like
lure. The fire salamander.
Zach is not a salamander. It seems like he's gonna have wings though.
He was
That was
gonna.
also frightening.
He was
Popping out of his
gonna.
back.
Oh, that
That
was
was
hideous.
How do you guys feel about Liam
I love
taking
Liam.
the pain from Hayden? Okay, now
love that.
I
You know what?
thought
That-
only alphas could do that.
Well, I know because Scott wasn't an alpha when he took the pain.
I
from
guess so.
things.
That's
it's
true.
it's something that a werewolf can do. I thought the scenes between him and Hayden were
Yeah.
just.
I'm such a
Beautiful.
fan of Dylan Sprayberry's. He
Yep.
just he
Yep.
just came on last year. He just owns it, you
Yep.
know.
Yep.
And I think Hayden is adorable.
Mhm.
And their scenes, the Liam and Hayden scenes, I think are just fantastic.
They were really
It's
powerful.
fun because they're sassy,
Yeah.
and he's not afraid to kind of play that like, oh, I've messed up again thing, you know. And
Yeah.
I love it.
I
You're-
like how honest
you're
he
rooting for them.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so honest.
Yes.
We have a
Totally.
caller on the line. Caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
Hello,
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you from?
Markel from San Diego.
Markel from San Diego.
Markel. Do you have a question for our special guest?
Oh. Yes, I do actually. My
You're twisting his arm.
My question is more. Is it possible that the vectors are like figments of like the pack's imagination? Because I think everything went bad once Theo started coming in the picture. Once they allowed Theo in the picture, like all these things started going down. And then if you take it back to the hospital, the school scene in the hallway, when the dread doctor did did the wave through the speakers and all that, everybody started seeing their nightmares. Scott was getting attacked by Kira.
I think anything is possible.
It was almost like literal. It was almost like literal. Scott was getting backstabbed by Kira.
Yeah, they all represented the fears.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
yes,
of-
it is, and it is
So my-
interesting how that happened.
Yes.
Go ahead. But do you think that they're a figment or they're a manifestation of someone? Someone has manifested these, or they're
coming from the inside
they're
out.
coming from the inside out, which I wondered
Yeah.
that too, and I would say tune in.
You almost got something out of him, Markel.
See, I'm keeping my
Yeah.
mouth shut because
Yes,
I'm the
and also-
worst. I would just be like,
and-
blah, blah, blah.
Did you have one more question, Markel?
Yes.
Go for it.
Yes. And it's really, yes, I find it really interesting how the Dread Doctors, they almost, the characters that they're not concerned with or attacking happen to be fire creatures, a.k.a. Kiera and a.k.a. Parrish. And they weren't really too bothered when Theo told them that they were trying to figure out who was taking the bodies. It was kind of like they already knew, and they didn't. They weren't, trying to bother with it. And then as far as when the lightning, the beginning of the season when they did whatever to Kiera, it was like they were kind of like they brought out that inner fox, that kind of like that fiery creature in her. So my thing is, what if whatever they're creating, I think it has something to do with being a fire creature. And I really do think it has something that's a lot to do with Parrish taking the body.
What's your thoughts on this?
Well,
I think he's like kind of like regenerating the body. So like,
I would
don't
say
know.
that. I wish I had a fire salamander song. I'd say it right now. I wish I had a pet fire salamander.
Little friend.
Yep. No, I think that those are all good thoughts, and
Really
I think
interesting.
that I can't really tell you a whole lot because then it would spoil it for a lot of people. But I think that all of your thoughts are very valid.
Yeah, I really like those, Markel. I hadn't really thought that the Doctors could possibly be a figment, but now thinking about it, that makes sense. Other than that scene when Theo sort of talks to them, because I feel like if they were a figment, he would know not to talk to them. But I do feel like Theo has a huge part of it.
There's something going on with
Yeah.
Theo for sure.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Markel, for calling in.
Yeah.
We really appreciate
Thank
those
you,
were
Markel.
great questions.
They are, and I wish I could.
Great thoughts, yeah.
If you call back in like 2 weeks, I'll be able
Then
to
y'all can
answer
chat
a
about it.
lot more.
Yeah. But then I'll have more questions about what's coming up.
Yeah, something going every week.
Thanks so much, Markel. Have a good night.
You guys in the live chat, I'm sorry, my computer died.
Oh,
I know. I thought I mean, I totally charged it before
but
I came.
the Dread Doctors.
That's right.
That's
the
took
dead
control.
doctor.
It's the electricity that's going around in here just zapped it.
It sucked out from this awesome lightning rod of love.
Well, you guys are going to have to resort to calling in instead of messaging Ryan.
New one, huh?
It's 424-256-1729. Let's talk about Theo.
Okay.
Now, Theo
Love him, first
is...
of all.
Well, I want to know...
Cody, I love
Cody
him.
Christian,
Great.
amazing.
And doing such a great job.
Yeah, no, he is. And I want to know why Jeff didn't keep it a mystery, because I'm thinking about it and I'm like, if we didn't see that scene with him like breaking his so-called dad's hand about the whole signature thing, I would still believe that he was good and helpful. And it would be probably a surprise to me when it was him all along. So I'm just kind of curious, why that wasn't kept a secret. Which is probably more for the writers' room.
Call him again.
Call Jeff, please.
Where's Jeff when you need
Come
him?
on, Jeff.
But there's been other
Why'd you do
things that Theo has done since
He
then.
wanted to.
I get it.
Because there's a look.
Yeah, it's
this
gonna
is-
come together.
It's the one thing about this show is that and as a writer, it's got to be incredibly difficult. And I visit the writers' room and I see them in there just because it's such dense storytelling that there are ripple effects from every event that occur. Meaning that if something happens here, the ripples go out and it will affect something 8 shows later.
Right.
You go, oh my gosh, and none of it's accidental.
Yeah.
And they agonize over this stuff, and that's what I think. I really think that kind of sets us apart in a
Right.
Absolutely.
really cool way.
You don't all of a sudden go, wait a minute, and then if you're
Yeah.
watching,
Yeah, I
Right.
would hate that. I hate
Yeah.
the one trick shows where it's like it was not obvious it was this
Yeah.
person at all,
Yeah. Right.
and then they like pull you out from under
Right,
the rug,
right,
and you're
right.
like, I never saw that, and then they have to backtrack through the flashbacks.
And what they
Yeah.
did
The Scooby-Doo
before
story.
didn't lend itself to that. So that's kind of what's fun about Theo's story is that we as the audience, we kind of get to go along a little bit with what he's doing. It kind
That's
of
good
makes
point.
Still don't know why he's
Yeah.
doing it or who he is or what
Yeah.
is why.
Yeah,
Why?
I want Scott to pull his memories. Like, Theo was kind of shocked when that happened.
Oh, yeah, he
with
snapped
Corey.
back. He's like,
Oh, yeah,
That's
like,
it.
oops.
He's like,
he can do that?
he was asking
Like-
a lot of questions.
He's like,
How
wait
does he
a
do that?
minute.
Can he do that to anybody? Can he do that to, like, does he actually have to be near you to do it, or can he just like do it from across the room? Because he can do it across the room. Yeah, I'll just stay at the house. You go.
Yeah. He does not want to be near Scott. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious he wanted to be the hero, and Scott was feeling bad about it this episode.
I thought that Tyler did such a great job on the show, and I loved the stuff between him and Arden. I thought it was just heartbreaking. I loved her stuff, and you know, it's a character that you know, she's building this stuff up, and then suddenly you find out that she's had this event happen to her, and she's struggling to remember it, and that my empathy level, I can't speak for anyone else, just went up like you know, 1,000,000%. Maybe 1.5 million.
Did Kira commit
It's
the
like
crime?
you're like the Grinch whose heart grew a little bit. It just went from
A little
tiny heart.
that like went.
Like the Grinch.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that Kira did it? What do you think?
She can't remember anything.
I think the Desert Wolf did it. There you go. That's
She
it.
was wherever she was. She's in another country.
But what a great thing! What a great thing to set up for the actress, you know, and for the character and the friends of the character. It's like, did she do it? Like when you think, God, did I do something? And then I love that it's not resolved. I also love the scene between Scott and his mom at the very end because, you know, so many times like all this stuff happens to these kids and they kind of reflect upon it, like, you know, oh crap, look what happened.
Yeah.
And he, Tyler was so good in that scene because he brought it back to being a teenage kid going, there was an essence of, Mom, what do I do? He didn't say what do I do, but as a kid, he's saying what do I do? I
Very
love that.
vulnerable.
Yeah,
That's something I think we've all struggled with.
Yeah.
Even still to this day, not just being in high school and being a kid, where it's like, oh, hey, there's something different with me and my friends, and I think it might be me.
Right.
So it's great that we're exploring that, even in the supernatural world, because I think that's something we all probably go through our adult years, is, you know, there's something going on.
Go through that your entire life.
Entire life never goes away. You're welcome, kids at home. Doesn't get better.
That's right. They all say adolescence is horrible. Well,
strap in.
We see some of that too. I mean, there's
It's like you grow up and you still have problems, but you got to pay bills now.
I know. I feel like I'm paying bills, but I'm not an adult yet. What's the deal?
I feel that way too. We're gonna take one more call.
Good.
And then we're gonna get into an interview with you guys.
Okay.
Caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Chandler, and I'm from Michigan.
Nice.
Michigan. We're hitting all the states. What? Do you have a question for our special guest this evening?
I have a theory.
Oh.
Well, not a theory, because it was actually, well, maybe.
Go for
you
it.
guys know how you said Zach had, like, wings in that last episode?
Uh-huh.
In season 2, remember when Derek and Peter were looking at the laptop and they said that Jackson could have wings if, like, he evolved?
I love that you picked that up.
It was, like, at the last couple episodes of season 2. Like,
a mature Canema.
remember when they had
can
thought
fly.
that Jackson was dead, but he was like in a cocoon type of thing, and he was like evolving, but then they had changed him like before he evolved.
I love that.
They had.
I think you're on point. I think
You are way on point.
Yeah.
what is that?
It's kind of hard to
I think
explain. You
that's
have to actually like go and watch the video.
Yeah, Linda, what are you saying?
The episode.
Tell us all.
You finally broke him.
you broke it. You got an answer
got
out
it.
of him.
You got an answer out of me. Yes, a mature Canema does have wings.
Boom.
That's probably as close as we're gonna get.
Yeah, there you go. That's something though. We'll take it.
Yeah.
It comes out and it is a beautiful butterfly.
I'll take that to Beacon Bank.
That flies around the Nematon. Thanks so much for calling
Like a
in.
little lightning bug.
No problem.
Have a good night. Let's talk to you guys. Now, I asked Linden last time, Susan, what got him here in this studio right now, why are we talking Teen Wolf? What specifically from your childhood do you think contributed to you wanting to be an actor?
I was going to be from my childhood. Contributed to me like the salamander and everything. Wow. I didn't start out to be an actress. And I actually, it was one of those things that I didn't really think about. And I left Atlanta to go to New York to be a model. And I was kind of short for that, but I squeezed in, at the very end. And then I started doing commercials. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I was like, wow, this is so much more fun. And then I started going on auditions. So it was kind of like someone who discovers a sport only because, their friends are doing it and they just happen to do it. And I can't imagine doing anything else. From as soon as I started.
You're pretty good at it.
Thanks.
Wouldn't it be great if I had never heard that story before?
What?
Wait, what?
I thought you did childhood plays.
You're from Atlanta?
Didn't I see pictures of you as Cinderella? I would have been the kid, though, watching a childhood play going, gosh, I wish that was me on stage. But it never was part of what I did.
What's like a role that you really want to play in the future? Because I know you guys get to kind of study those careers, kind of step in and see what it would be like, and you have to really get into those careers. So if there's a career that you want to play or a role, what would that be in the future?
Wow, that's a great one. You know what? I think I'd really like to play a politician.
I can see you as a politician.
Yeah, I'd like to play a politician who has a really strong point of view about something and has to, go up against the rest of the people, have a posse. I think that would be great to have to not just, I love playing somebody's mom, so she could be somebody's mom as well.
Yes.
But it would be great to portray, because there are women my age who are in politics.
Oh, yeah.
So,
only the best.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So I'd like to do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you guys have a question?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I love the roles that you guys play in this show. The adults are playing a more and more integral part of the story. I feel like there's the wolf pack of kids, but now you're starting to see this wolf pack of adults form. Right? You got everyone's kind of watching each other's back, and there's an inner circle, and Stilinski's kind of hanging on the fringe of that inner circle right now. Doesn't know if you're going to be in or out, because you have these moral obligations and these legal obligations holding above your head. But I guess when it comes down to it, everyone really looks towards you as a father figure, and a lot of people watching at home don't necessarily have the good fortune of having a solid father figure or a mother figure in their lives. And the way that you guys come across is really powerful, and I think it helps a lot of people. So I love your performance in the show. I love your characters, and meeting you in person has just been a thrill. You guys
all
are
your
great.
hopes and dreams.
No, it's even better. It's even better knowing that you're great people in person too. And if I had a question right now, I guess it would say, do you guys have any plans on working together in the future, maybe?
Oh, like a side project? That would be cool.
Kind of on the horizon?
I told Jeff Davis that I would be the lunch lady, the janitor. I'm working my way through the school, right?
Yeah,
I'll
guidance
do
counselor.
whatever. Yeah, guidance counselor. I did the biology thing. I told him, I said, I'll do whatever, because I love being on the set with Linden, obviously, but I also love the little interactions that our character has. I love being on that show, the whole environment of it. And what you were saying, it was interesting because I've tagged along with him to a couple conventions, and the amount of fans who come up, I'm getting with tears in their eyes and talk about how important his character is to them as a father. That it's fantastic. It's a great. It's great.
It is one of the really rewarding parts of doing this part, this character, playing this character, is that it has touched positively so many more people than I ever imagined, than probably anything that I've ever done. And a really kind of, this whole show just goes to a whole different level with a lot of people, and it's pretty cool to be a part of.
And the fact that as a dad, you've been flawed as a dad. Like
Yeah.
you know, that's what's great about it. He's not
Certainly in my real life.
in real life.
I don't see any
What's
from here.
fun is that he has a son on the show, you know, because we have daughters in real life. So it's really, like I think of
that's
Dylan
funny.
as like my pseudo son, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what's great too is that Stilinski isn't like just the perfect dad who's the father figure. You know, we watched
they're
your
human.
battles
That's
with
what's
your
so
kids.
great about these
yeah.
characters is that they didn't make Jeff didn't make these adult characters that are just like the mom, the dad,
Right.
the sheriff. It's like they're humans. They have problems. They're involved in their kids' lives. They make mistakes. They
Right. No, sorry. Which is what you were talking about earlier, which what we were talking about, the parents of the show, so much of what they want to do is protect their kids. And that brings a whole other level. Because at the end of the day, you want Stiles to do right, but you also, you know, and then Melissa wants Scott to be safe. So then parents, and, you know, Natalie wants Lydia, I'm getting the names off, Lydia to stay safe. So you start making choices as a parent to protect your kid, and they're not always the right choices maybe that you should make.
Well, and then
it's
we've opened up a whole nother can of worms in that I'm sitting in that elevator with Stiles, and
That was so
I
sad.
look at him and I know
He's lying.
I
I knew that you knew he was
I know.
lying.
That's so sad
And
for
it's
the parent.
heartbreaking as a parent, especially about something like this.
I mean, how are you going to react to that when you find out? Because you're saying the law is the law right now. And your son, accidental homicide, which is still homicide. He killed somebody. He committed murder. I don't know how he's going to handle that situation.
Yeah, does the parent child relationship transcend
Supersede the law?
Exactly. Do you think in some cases? I mean, I know that I'm not a father.
That we know of. He hasn't told anyone here. But is the badge going to be melted? Like, what is happening?
At what
it's going to be really
I
hard.
can't wait to find out.
I know.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be.
I could just imagine
It's
though.
going to be heartbreaking.
Because you know, parents go to lengths to protect their kids sometimes and do things they never thought
They
they would
act
have.
supernatural in those situations.
And you take it to that next level of if you found out your kid did this, if they were involved in this, there's a whole change that is just a huge earthquakes, in their life. A big life-changing event that
Right.
they were just involved in. That talk about your ripple effect.
Right.
That's a big old rock.
Because in a way-
Tsunami size ripple.
Exactly.
Right, if you think about it, Stiles also, in a way, could be protecting you by not telling you because he knows that then you would have to take responsibility for it.
I feel like you're gonna have to retire because you're you're like this moral guy, and it's like I just mean on this show, like you're gonna have to join the pack, like the Argents, and like you're gonna have to just work on the side with them because you can't have this conflict with protecting the town and then also helping the pack, and they need you. They need you. So I don't know. I feel like that could happen. Maybe you just give the badge in. You could be like
he's gotta
a
be the
secret.
inside man.
He could be like
He'd have a whole
Scott
new wardrobe.
McCall's.
He wouldn't wear the outfit all the time.
I know, there was
He
one
would
scene-
hate that because every day he just gets to go and put on his outfit. He doesn't have to have fittings.
I don't have to. I bet I have to take off that. I think I'm wearing the same stuff I wore season 1.
Same outfit they don't
Same-
wash.
Oh my god! And there was somebody during hiatus a person who will not be named.
Put it on.
Oh no! Wore it for freaking Halloween.
I'm gonna assume it was Stiles.
No, it was not.
Okay.
It was not. And then I dig in my coat pocket or my pants pocket, and I pull out a Mongolian barbecue pizza joint menu, and I'm like, really? They didn't
When
wash
was I
it?
in Mongolia?
No, and he had told me that he had gone out to Halloween.
know
and
about
done
this.
And then I'm going, and they didn't even wash it? Son of a bitch.
That's messed up.
That polyester
That's
doesn't
messed
get...
up.
And I'm
Yeah,
actually,
that polyester doesn't hold anything.
I'm kinda-
So I wouldn't worry about it.
I'm hungry now.
Yeah, no
weirdly.
kidding.
I was going to say, a quick step back. Speaking of Stiles and people who shall not be named,
Yes.
I mean, I didn't even think to see in the episode, but I saw your tweet about when he pulls out his library card. Did anybody push pause and look at the library card?
Yeah.
What did it say?
What? Oh, you don't know?
I didn't press pause.
notice it.
I missed it. Tell me.
Okay. Oh, this is fun. She doesn't know.
Come on, we got to rap.
Okay, you're right. It was just the initial M. Snap. Stiles has a first name.
Markel. He called tonight from San Diego.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm using that. It's got to be something. What's his first name?
What do you think his first name is?
As predictions, let's
What do
go
y'all
around.
think it is?
There you go.
For who?
For Stiles, what do you
His
think his
first name begins with an M.
Starts with an M. Just name.
It's gonna be something weird. Probably a
really
girl's
weird.
name.
Just name an athlete. You know athletes' names. Mickey.
Oh.
Mickey. Michael.
Marshall?
Marshall, that's a good name.
All right, you going to
Marshall.
I like that. It's a good name.
Marshall Stiles.
Marshall Stiles.
Ryan, what's yours?
Stilinski. The last name's Stilinski.
Yeah, Stilinski. Stiles is just the nickname
Marshall
for
Stilinski.
And his dad
All right, I'm
is
sorry,
Sheriff
yeah.
Stilinski.
Stilinski,
That would
yes.
be good. Marshall Stilinski and Sheriff Stilinski.
That'd be great.
I like it.
Major and Sheriff.
Marshall.
No, I think it should be Miles. So then it's Miles Stiles.
Miles Stiles.
Miles Stiles.
Miles
I like
Stiles.
that.
I like that too.
Lyndon, do you want to name your son?
Nope.
No.
Man.
No.
It'll be Man.
Man.
Man Stilinski.
Ryan.
Let's go. Marquelius.
I don't
Marcus Aurelius. Marcus.
think it's probably that. But
Go with Marcus.
thank you guys for tuning in tonight.
Thanks for having us.
And
was great.
thank you, Susan and Linden. It's been such a pleasure having you guys in studio. You gave us
for
so many
having us.
spoilers and hints about the rest of the season.
It was great.
Thank you guys for being
Salamanders.
here.
Fire
Fire
salamanders.
salamander.
Where
finding
can the fans
the cat's out of the bag.
tweet at you?
What you-
I'm at S. Walters Ashby.
Awesome,
Yes,
Linden.
and I'm at Linden Ashby, I think.
We have really like wild names, you know, for this Twitter thing.
Should probably change to something salamander by the end of tonight.
AKA
Fire salamander.
I'm getting that.
That'll be his little
With a
headshot.
capital man.
Man.
Right in the middle.
Man.
Salamander.
Salamander.
Yeah.
You guys, where can the fans follow you?
We're just off tonight. I don't know what it is. I'm Ryan Malaty. You can keep up with me at Ryan Malaty. Be sure to tweet me throughout the week with the hashtag ABTV Teen Wolf, and we shall talk more Teen Wolf.
You guys can find me at Brittany_Baldy on all social media.
You guys can follow me at Cinematic Escape. Thanks for joining every week. Come back Tuesdays, 7 p.m. live on AfterBuzz TV. Have a good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.